Hello friends. This is Phoenix. What if? How are you all? So in this video, we will see what if Naruto had power of 9 tails. But before we start, if you want more amazing stuff like this, then be sure to subscribe to our channel and like this video. Also, if possible, share this video with your friends. Now without wasting any more time, let's begin the story. I am Uzumaki Naruto, the soon-to-be Hokage. I hope at least. That's my dream and goal. I need to be the best, so I need to be stronger. I need to be respected. I cannot take this anymore. I'm saying everything I've said before. All these words, they make no sense. I find bliss in ignorance. Less I hear, the less you say, but you'll find that out anyway. By now, I should be real strong. I've been doing tons of extra training every day on my own, building my skills. Demo, you see, no one thinks I can make it. Well, maybe Iruka-sensei. He's the closest person to me. I'm a class clown, but it's the only way I can get attention. Just like before, respect you. I don't think so, even if you did become Hokage. I pull pranks to get attention. I don't have any parents, and my village ignores me. So I took the role. They saw me as someone who would amount to nothing. They have to yell at me, so that's some attention. Nay. Everything you say to me takes one step closer, and I'm about to break. I need a little room to breathe, cause I'm one step closer to the edge and I'm about to break. There's more to me than a troublemaking screw up. The adults ward their children from me, so yeah, I'm the kid with 0 friends. Well, I used to be. Demo, the adults, most, still hate me. They throw icy glares and insults everything they see me. I find the answers aren't so clear. Wish I could find a way to disappear. All these thoughts make no sense. I find bliss in ignorance. Nothing seems to go away over and over again. Why am I so different? I hate not fitting in. It was 3 years ago I found out why I'm hated. 12 years ago, a demon fox with 9 tails attacked our village. To defeat it, the demon fox was sealed inside me. I'm the reincarnation of the demon fox. It's not like I asked for it. So why do they hate me so much? My classmates have no idea. Neither do my friends. Sakura, my crush, and Sasuke, my rival. I can't tell them. Most of them still see me as a good-for-nothing clown. Only Iruka-sensei and Hokage-sama know and don't hate me. The insults are getting worse, and there's only so much I can take. The truth is I'm. Shut up when I'm talking to you. The so-called human form of the 9-tailed demon fox. Damned fox Naruto. I'm about to break. Can you imagine if they let someone like that be a shinobi? The only one who failed. I am. He should have been killed when we had the chance. What you really are is the demon fox. About. It was you who murdered Iruka's family. Didn't you think it was strange? To be so despised everywhere you went. 2. Since the day of your rebirth you have been shunned by our entire village. Since then you have been made a fool by everyone. Break. No one could bear an abomination like you. A younger Naruto made his way to the forest, which was filled with children. Some were playing hide and seek, others tag. But the best part was the adults were talking and didn't see him. So he walked slowly to a girl he saw sometimes by herself. Today was the day he would get a friend. He hoped. He was about a foot away from her. Then she suddenly stood and stared at him. Next she broke out into a run and passed him by, without a second glance. No worries. Maybe she didn't see him. As he walked to the other side of the forest, some kids were playing with a ball, a simple game of catch. A boy a bit older than himself kicked the ball hard, landing it at his feet. Naruto quickly picked up the ball and handed to the person nearest to him. The kid took it from his hands and acted like he wasn't there, as they resumed their game. Naruto walked to the swing. It wasn't any ordinary swing. It was his. No one else's. He pushed hard on the swing and jumped on. But not before he heard voices. He stopped the swing and listened carefully. He's weird. Who? The kid with the orange outfit and goggles. Yeah, I know. No one plays with him. I wonder why? The answer is obvious. He's a freak. Besides, who would want to play with H? Thump. End flashback. Dream. Naruto stood and rubbed his head where he fell from the bed. He checked the clock, 3:56 in the morning. He tried to go back to bed, despite he was wide awake. He violently throws of the covers, realizing there was no way he could go back to sleep. He walked out of the house and with help from a tree, was able to reach the rooftop. He stayed there for 20 minutes till he spotted someone walking slowly across the street. With a closer look, Naruto realized it was Sasuke. He was on the gutter leaning over trying to see what Sasuke would be doing here of all places and time. But he leaned a little too far, lost his balance and came crashing down to the ground. Kuso. Unfortunately he was caught as Sasuke saw him and asked, "What do you think you're doing?" "I was star-gazing till I fell from the roof." Sasuke ed an eyebrow, but said nothing. "Hey, aren't you going to help me up?" "No." Naruto stood up and started to wipe the snow from his jacket. "What are you doing here anyway?" "Thinking." "Ah." Naruto smirked and asked, "Wanna join me?" "With what?" "Stargaze." "Well, do you have anything else to do?" Sasuke said nothing, and followed him. Sasuke watched intently as they entered Naruto's house. Expired milk, old cereal, to say the least it was messy. As he passed the fridge something fell. The thing that caught his attention was a calendar. It was an average calendar, the difference was that 2 months ago, October 12th was heavily circled with a black marker. Sasuke carefully put it back on the fridge. "You want something to drink?" Naruto questioned. Sasuke shook his head and followed Naruto to the rooftop. Once they reached there neither of them spoke. "So you going to the dance next week?" Naruto asked. "No, and you?" "No." Naruto laid back in a more comfortable position and stared at the stars. So what was so great about October 12th? It took Naruto a minute to register that Sasuke actually tried to set up a conversation. "Nothing, why?" "Well, it was circled in black." "Oh, my birthday." "Oh. Why didn't you tell anybody?" "I didn't think anyone would come." There was an uncomfortable silence. Naruto shifted under Sasuke's gaze and decided to speak. What do you think about Kakashi's serious asterisk training we will be starting tomorrow?" Sasuke shrugged. Sasuke stood up and walked toward the door. "I think I will be going." "Why?" "It's dawn." And Sasuke left. Naruto sighed and decided to go back to bed. Easier said than done. He was still puzzled over Sasuke's recent change in behavior. Sasuke. He was his friend. His rival. But he was even friendlier than he usually was. Weird. He sighed and threw the pillow over his head. Next day Naruto yawned as he approached the training area. Kakashi-sensei was late as always. Sasuke was rested against a tree, in a position that he looks like he's asleep but not really. And Sakura was fixing her hair. "Well, let's get started," said Kakashi as he was still reading Icha Paradise, which was in his hand. "Get started with what?" Naruto said, giving his teacher a rather confused look. Kakashi, who still didn't put down the Icha Paradise book, replied, "With training." Naruto sighed. "Can you at least give me a straight answer?" Kakashi seemed to consider it and said, "Nah." Unknown to Naruto, the training Kakashi had in store was 7.5 straight hours of intense sparring with weapons and all sort of illusions. But he found that out the hard way. By that time Naruto's clothes were slashed and ripped. Not that the others were in such good shape either. "Shit. And it was my favorite jacket too." Naruto complained after seeing his jacket reduced to shreds. Naruto added silently. Kakashi put his Icha Paradise, giving Naruto a weird glance. Then put his book in his bag. "Then we have to go shopping." "Shopping?" A loud giggle occurred as Sakura bounced up and down, eagerly happy with Kakashi's choice. She noticed Kakashi's book was out of sight. "So you finally gave up on that book?" Sakura smirked, seeing Kakashi's nod. Backward 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 10 minutes later I backquote 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 backquote. Naruto sighed as he realized that his orange outfit was not in style and was not even on that rack. He pouted, refusing to look at the other clothes on that rack. There are other clothes, you know, besides orange is not your color, replied Sakura as she tried to cheer up Naruto. Comma 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 comma. Leave him alone, Sasuke stated as he found a decent pair of denim jeans with a white muscle shirt that revealed much. Sakura whirled around, obviously happy with the different dresses she had in her hand. Kakashi whispered something to Naruto and Naruto followed him. After trying out the different outfits, Sakura was proud of her clothes. Sasuke shrugged, and Kakashi was by the book rack. What are you doing? Sakura asked as Kakashi pulled out a book, glanced through it and tucked it under his arm. Sakura looked over his shoulder. Nani? I thought you gave up on that book. Now I never said that. Besides, this is the special edition. Sakura sighed. Where's Naruto? He holed himself up in the dressing room, refusing to get out. I guess he didn't like the outfit I picked out for him. Comma 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 comma. What did you get for him? Kakashi just smiled. Sakura rolled her eyes and said, Naruto, we're going for ramen. Hurry up if you want any. Kakashi looked confused. We are going out for ramen? We are now, replied Sakura as she headed toward the checkout area. Kuso. Naruto cursed. He sighed deeply as he stepped out the dressing room. He glanced around to see if any of his friends or teacher were around. Nope. And he ran to the checkout area. After checking out, Naruto walked to the ramen shop, pulling some leftover money out of his pockets. He sat on the stool furthest from everybody. He easily saw Sasuke, Sakura and Kakashi. He would not go to them. And Kakashi-sensei would pay for putting him through this. He growled as he heard laughing. He came face to face with the dreaded cliffhanger. I am evil. Okay, review time. Aniski 0703. Sorry about the typos, I'm trying to cut back. I'll try my best on writing yaoi. Tina Chown, thanks for the support. Voodoo doll? Anna-chan, glad you like it. Asterisk grins asterisk Karinka Moonshadow, I'll try to add more Kakashi since you requested. Fio the Hio, sorry I meant Naruto plus Sasuke and maybe a bit of Kakashi plus Iruka. Wuffy Louver, thank you. I need all that support I can get. I'm back. And well, that's it. Gomen Nasagi to all you shonen yaoi haters out there, but majority wins. So if you don't like it, please don't read. Since I don't want any flamers flaming me. If you can't write anything nice, don't write at all. As corny as it sounds. There's truth behind it. But I feel bad, so I will make this a love triangle or even a love rectangle. I will also do another pairing. Just say who you want to be paired up with. Yaoi versus shonen Who do you want to win? I do not own Naruto. Never will. Confused, I growled as I heard laughing. I came face to face with a bastard. Plain and simple. And this special bastard was named Lee Mikamura. Beside Lee were his lackeys. Flunkies. Followers. Idiots. Who knows why? Lee was laughing, but it probably had to do with the fact Lee kept glancing at me with the look. Well, looks like our buddy here got a new outfit. No doubt Iruka bought it for him. Right, Iruka's pet? I clenched his fist, thinking of the pros and cons of wiping the smirk off Lee's face. Pro. 1. He's a bastard. 2. Someone needs kick him off his high horse and remember to come back to earth. 3. He's a bastard and he's insulting the one person who somewhat respects me. Con. 1. He's a genin, but a favorite among teachers. 2. His lackeys could jump me before I can say bistu no jistu. 3. The ramen shop was crowded enough as it is and I doubts anyone would help me. 4. Not only does the female population like Sasuke, but also they seem to like Lee and wouldn't hesitate to attack me. Big deal. I unclenched my fist and replied, no, I actually bought this outfit, which is more than I can say for you. Lee smirked and had that I am so superior so start begging look on his face. So Naruto, I see you're sitting all by yourself. Does that mean Sakura finally told you what a freak you are? And Sasuke stopped pitying you? I just glared and reclenched my fists. If I'm a freak, why are you talking to me? Unless you're a freak. 2. Because it's so much fun to annoy you. Lee chuckled. Just keep on talking and all. I mentally growled as I tried to mask the anger from my eyes. I can't let him get to me. I hate him, acting like he can push me around. Then you must be pretty bored if you're talking to me. I smiled as he saw the annoyance in Lee's face. Then Lee smirked. Not a good sign. I am so insulted, but at least I wasn't abandoned my parents. Not that I blame them. If I had a son as stupid and pathetic as you, I would run away too. My fingers dug in my skin. Blood flowed freely down my fists. I stood up and glared at Lee straight in eye, in full fury. He had no right. Say that again and I will personally rip out your throat. Lee started to laugh and then he caught Naruto's glare and stopped. You heard what I said, but it's not my fault that your parents were so ashamed that they resorted to running away. I glanced around. Yep. Everyone was staring at me, watching me, waiting to see what I'm going to do. I suppressed the urge to rip out Lee's teeth, not an easy thing, since if he was alone I wouldn't hesitate. I didn't want to do it, not like this, with everyone staring at me. Or what will you do? Or I will wipe that smirk off your face. Lee started to laugh. Ooh. The orphan going to hurt me. I'm so scared. Mouth. Lee did shut his mouth when his and mine eyes met. My death glare did not intimidate him, but a lackey of his. Lee, maybe we should leave him alone. He looks really mad. Lee shrugged, but left. Anyway, I muttered, bastard, before he left and he heard me. I felt a tap on the shoulder. If it's Lee I don't care who sees, I'm ripping his head off. I turn around and it's not Lee, a girl with short brown hair and amber eyes. Wait, wasn't she a friend of Sakura's? What was her name? Rika. Iris. Or was? Yeah, it was Ano. That was real brave on how you stood up to Lee. I blinked. She was talking to me, right? Yeah. I like your outfit. I mumbled a thanks. Since when did I become the center of attention for no apparent reason? Say, would you go the dance with me? You are talking to me, nay? Of course, silly. Silly? So will you? Can I tell you tomorrow? Sure. Ino replied as she was pulled away by someone named Mala. I think that's her name. Unfortunately they moved down 2 seats and I heard their total conversation. Which is not a bad thing, but it was about me. Why are you talking to Naruto, of all people? Because I can. What about Sasuke? Well, what about Sasuke? He's cuter than Naruto. Well, Sasuke doesn't wear leather. So while you are still dreaming over Sasuke who is almost unattainable, I will be with Naruto, who is single, while they were screaming at each other, which gained a lot of attention. I was flinching every time my name was called, which was quite often. I glanced around. It seemed the arguing had stopped. The girls turned away, and weird. About time you showed up. Yep, it was Sakura, who was giving a strange glance. Sakura glanced over Naruto's new outfit. He was wearing a dark navy blue tank top that seemed 2 sizes too small, along with tight black leather pants, a choker chain and blue fingerless gloves added on the tough guy look. Around his waist was a blue jacket. She received a tap on her shoulder. She turned around. It was Mala. Mala whispered into her ear and dragged her to the side of the room. I saw Sasuke, who was behind me. Walk this way, and Kakashi. I hate you, I replied. Sasuke froze. It seemed your outfit gained some attention. Sasuke unfroze and seemed partly relieved the insult was not thrown at him. Weird, Naruto thought. I really hate you. Kakashi shrugged it off. Sasuke sat next to me on the right. Sakura, who reappeared, sat next to him, and Kakashi sat next to Sakura. Sakura seemed mad. Sakura glared at Ano, who was walking out the door. We were waiting for the ramen to arrive. Naruto saw Sasuke glaring harshly at Ano, as she smiled one last time at Naruto. Could Sasuke be jealous? Of what? Naruto asked himself silently. The ramen was placed, still steaming hot, as I snuck a glance at Sasuke. Why was Sasuke glaring at the girl? Obviously he was jealous. Of what? Of her? Maybe. But what could drive him to be jealous? He couldn't. He wouldn't. I smirked. Sue. That's why Sasuke was jealous. Very interesting. Dobi. Why are you smirking? No reason. I just happen to know your secret, I said smugly. Sasuke shifted and faced me. What secret? Oh. Just the fact you happen to have fallen in love with her. Her? He edged an eyebrow. Yeah. You know her, that girl Ano. Sasuke looked relieved. I don't love her. So then you do love someone, right? Only one word could describe the look on Sasuke's face, as he tensed up. Shit. Aren't you going to tell me who you love? I said in a sing-song tone. I don't love anyone, and if I did I wouldn't be telling you, Baka. Why not? You're annoying. What's your point? That is my point, Dobi. I glared as Sasuke picked up his chopsticks and started to eat the ramen. I sighed and did same. I looked at Sakura, who was still fuming about the Anomala incident. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw the almighty Lee had returned. He caught my gaze and smirked. Bastard. I saw him whisper something to a girl. Then started to flash me the look. The look is the whole I'm smart, you're dumb, I'm big, you're small, I'm right, you're wrong. I sent him a get over yourself look. He frowned, I won, and he left. Hey Naruto. What was with you and Lee? Nothing. I told Sakura. I did not want to tell her. I almost got in a fight with that bastard, because he was teasing over my so-called family life. Are you sure? Yeah. I added my infamous fox grin. The matter settled. Ramen goodness waiting. You know you have that feeling when you were being stared at. Well, I have that feeling right now. I'm not really enjoying it. I look up and find many, and I mean a whole lot of people staring at me. Very awkward. And whole lot of whispering about my new outfit. Thus causing me to stuff my ramen goodness down my throat at an inhuman rate, almost causing me to choke on my chopsticks. Like I said, awkward. I was the first one done and found the floor very interesting, since a whole lot of people, who I don't even know, find me interesting. No comment on how weird that is. Oddly enough, it seems Sasuke was the last one finished. He seemed to be staring off into space way too much. We get out of there and Sakura cracks a joke on how I should wear leather more often so I get noticed. Oddly enough, Sasuke didn't laugh. Usual he would have. He's acting worse then. Well, I don't want to say it, but a short-tempered girl PM Sing. He's ticked. He's still not jealous, is he? But he doesn't like Ano. So who does he like? He apparently caught me staring at me, and sent me a what are you staring at? Look. Okay, so asking Sasuke who he happens to like is out of the question. Well then, I'll just find out for myself. Kakashi-sensei starting talking about today's events. Not that I was paying attention, I only caught his last words of more training tomorrow. I mentally sighed, no mission. Yep. Sakura was still clinging to Sasuke. I growled lightly. I was going to do something about it, till the path to my house came up. I shrugged it off and headed in a different direction. Who are you? I stopped as someone just from the shadows. He or she was dressed in black. I mean the works. Black shoes, black pants, black shirt, black lipstick, black mask, and to top it off a black cloak. A goth ninja. Okay. Who are you? I mimicked, I asked you first. I'm not telling. I am Yami. Yami like in darkness. Someone needs a life. I strike like the night. I breathe the night. Therefore I am the night. A little melodramatic, aren't we? Well Yami. What do you want? I seek power. I seek strength. To earn this strength I speak of. I kill. I kill to get stronger. So I kill you I get power. Understand the night gives me strength, but not enough. Not enough chakra, I'm afraid. Don't take it personally. Why do you need to get stronger? It does not concern the dead. She attacked with a shuriken, throwing 5 or 6. I dodged and sneak up upon it with a well-placed kick. Caught it off its guard, giving me enough time to A. Create doppelgangers and B. Grab some of its weapons since I didn't have mine. It woke up and charged, pulling out a dagger, nicking me in the side. Before it could dealt a more fatal blow, I ran a shuriken across its face, and it howled in pain. My left arm across my side pressing against it, trying to stop the blood flowing freely from the cut. I winced, as this cut was deeper than I thought. Before it could attack again, my shadows ganged up on it. 2 of them were punching it in the face, while my other 7 were forcefully holding it to the ground. I leaned on a tree gathering the strength for a final attack. By now realize he or she was good, faster, stronger and already dealt me a powerful blow. So I had to deal with whomever fast. Grasping my last shuriken, I charged from the backside and stabbed it hard in neck. It turned and my shuriken got it in the left shoulder. Either way, it was weakened as it collapsed on the ground. I walked toward whoever as my shadows disappeared. I was exhausted from putting up my doppelgangers so long. At least twice as long as I did normally. I was almost there. Is it knocked out? I snuck near it carefully, too close. Is it breathing? I leaned over its shoulder. It got up suddenly, shoving another dagger in my chest and using extra charka to throw me into a tree. The tree broke due to the force of energy, as I heard and felt a loud crack. Not good at all. As I tried to stand I found that loud crack was my left shoulder, which was not dislocated, but still hurt like hell. Also due to the wet substance that seemed to be flowing from my head, messing up my vision, which was blood. Everything kinda looked red. I moved my right hand to grasp my left shoulder, to ease some pain if any. It didn't. I stood in a defensive stance. My attacker approached me, to meet a rather large heat wave. My knees gave way. The world was spinning. I'm going to be sick. I blinked. On the sidelines, stood a mad Sasuke, who did not look happy. She was still alive, hard to believe after being almost burned alive, glared at Sasuke before taking off. Everything started to spin really fast. Why was the ground upside down? Not like this. Someone please don't let Mr. Personality see me like this. Too late. He did. I accept total humiliation as he walked towards. Yep. I can already hear him rubbing it in my face already. Or maybe it's the loud ringing in my ears. If everything doesn't stop spinning so fast, I'm going to hurl, vomit, toss my cookies, throw up, puking, ralphing, spewing guts, technicolor yawn. Whatever I might do all of them. It won't be pretty. 'Cause I ally don't feel good. I feel like shit. Close my eyes, so maybe everything will stop spinning and that thing that's rising in my throat will stop and go back down. Too much to ask for. I could feel Sasuke grasping my right shoulder asking if I'm okay. The answer is kinda obvious. If I look as bad as I feel, and I stated that I feel like shit. So I look like shit. The answer is no, I am not okay. Stuff won't stop spinning, giving me a headache, my shoulder hurts like hell, and blood is flowing freely from my body. Do I look okay? No. Do I feel okay? Hell no, you know when you're awake but not really. Well, I'm in one of those. I am on the edge of consciousness, and I can either go over the edge to unconsciousness, stay where I am, or wake up. Sasuke shaking me harder. Like I'm not in enough pain already. Stupid headache. Stupid goth ninja. Stupid injuries. Everything is just stupid, cause they won't stop spinning. Okay, I've made my choice. As stupid as it sounds, I tried to get up. Yet someone has me in a death grip, and I hear voices. But it seems my pain has numbed my senses. So everything spins faster if possible. Till it goes black. Yep. To put it simply, I blacked out. I blinked and repeated this process until the place I was at stopped. Being the place I was at, it did not change. Where was I? It was somewhere I had never been, I'm sure. It wasn't the ramen shop because there were no smells of ramen at this matter, food, cooking, no people. Just a lot of water dripping in slow motion, which sounded like an earthquake. With all this silence, where is that water coming from? It was quiet. Way too quiet. It was annoying to say the least. How did I get here? Last thing I remember was training, lots of training and shopping. I really need to get back at Kakashi for that one stupid leather outfit, making people who I don't even know staring at me like on display. Which I'm not. And then I was walking and I remember. Stupid goth ninja. I hate him or her ear. Whoever, I hate them. Then Sasuke, he. Wait. Why was he there? Was he following me? Nah. He wouldn't do that. He's not a stalker. Probably came running after I screamed. Wait. Why did he come? I sighed and tried to get up, ended up slipping and landed on my bad shoulder. I used my uninjured hand to clamp my mouth shut, so I would not howl in burning pain. Still, why was he there? Stupid thought won't leave me alone. I shrugged it off, probably came because a fight was a fight, whomever the victim, in this case me, is. Now back to the more important question. Where am I? Last time I checked, trees were brown, not white. I know where I am. How could I forget? I'm at my house. How did I get here? I growled. Stupid questions that won't leave me alone. At least I know why I didn't notice my house right away. It was clean. Who could have done this? Iruka. Nah, he wouldn't have. He barges in, sits, talks, and barges out. Did he find me? Or did Sasuke drag me back? I tossed that idea out the window. Mr. Popularity dragging me back here. He wouldn't waste his time. Still, it was best not to know the truth. The truth is painful. Look what happened with Mizuki. I found out why I was hated. Hi, sometimes it's best not to know the truth. I heard a noise, a loud noise. Something fell and clattered to the ground. A pan maybe. And then some cursing. Someone was here. That someone also happened to be cooking. I could tell. Yep, it was ramen. I wish I were positioned at a different angle. Whoever is too far in the kitchen. Not that I could see this so-called person. It seems my sight has decided not to cooperate, and the result is everything is doubled, tripled, some are even quartet, kuso. Everything was far too blurry, hazy, whatever you call it. No way that Gothic ninja's stupid dagger hurt me this bad. Sure, my shoulder is in the process of extreme pain, but that's it, right? I did get some blood in my eyes, but it couldn't do this to my vision? Could it? I leaned over the side of the bed trying to see who dares enter my house. I leaned a little bit too far, and the ground decided to kiss me. Of course I was way too far up, so a little force called gravity decided to interfere, hence the ground kissing me. I gasped rather loudly, since the position I'm in is rather painful. All the pressure of my body is on my not dislocated but almost there shoulder. At that point some blood escaped my shoulder, and some shuffling in the kitchen. Therefore the intruder came to face with, and I would off laughed till my lungs burst if the circumstances were different. I never thought I would see the day that he was in an apron. Thank whoever likes me up there. It wasn't pink. Do I even own an apron? Now this said person, who I never thought would be here of all places, was staring at me oddly. Sasuke. Hey Sasuke. What are you doing? He asked, his eyebrows still raised. I got into a fight with the floor and lost. No way would I tell him what I really was doing. The fact that I temporarily forgotten where I was, still don't know how I got here, and was trying to find who was in the kitchen. Stupid gravity. The confusion escaped Sasuke's face to be replaced with annoyance. I had that effect on people. Then I stupidly asked a question I shouldn't of. It appears my brain decided to not wake up with my body. What are you doing here? What does it look like? How am I supposed to know? He noticed my confusion, at least I think he did. Making you breakfast. Now I was even more confused than I was already, and it was giving me a headache. No one has ever made me breakfast. Iruka usually takes me out, but no one ever made me breakfast. He walked back towards the kitchen. Oi Sasuke, do you remember in training when I knocked you upside the head with my fist? Yeah, so, did I knock something loose? Nani? What are you talking about, Dobi? Okay, maybe it didn't knock something loose, or cause further brain damage than I thought. It didn't answer the question of him being here. Why are you here? Because I can. Says who? Caught him on that one. But if he didn't know why he was here, and I don't know why he is here, or why I am here, I am going to stop now. Since I'm confusing myself. I was worried, I guess. Along with the blinding pain and bad eyesight, did that stupid goth ninja did something to my eardrums? 'Cause I could have sworn, Sasuke said. He was worried about me. Rivals aren't supposed to worry about their opponents, they are supposed to beat them. Say what? You heard what I said. Why? Sasuke took a while before answering. You took some bad hits back there, got Iruka all upset. Even Kakashi. Which is a wonder itself. They were worried about me. They were. Maybe I'm the one suffering from brain damage. This is way too confusing. I mentally shrugged and tried to at least get in a better position so I could stop gritting my teeth. I rose 2 inches before my head spun and once again fell on my bad shoulder. Apparently I also cracked some ribs since it was harder to breathe. I rose, tried to shift some weight to my other shoulder. And once again slipped. I waited for another close interaction of the floor, but it never came. Sasuke had caught me. It looked like him. I decided not to find out which one was the real Sasuke, since all 3 of them looked real enough. Stupid hazy vision. I can't believe he had caught me. Maybe he was jealous of the close relationship the floor and me had. Maybe not. Kuso. He was close. Very close. I watched as he carefully tried to lift my injured shoulder over around his neck, and try to get a better grip while his other arm encircled my waist. I winced. A lot, to say the least. Total embarrassment and humiliation reigned supreme. Sasuke seemed to notice my embarrassment and said nothing, just turned his head. Then he carefully lifted his up and placed me on the bed, still not saying a word. I caught a look at his face. He was angry at something, at himself. Let me guess. He doesn't know why he caught me. How am I supposed to know why? His arm is still encircling my waist, his other hand gripping my wrist. Despite his outer attitude, he's doing this rather carefully and gently. I expected him to just drop me on the bed. He notices me staring at him and lets go, mumbling about checking how the ramen is doing. Kuso. Talk about close encounters, as if today couldn't get any weirder. Leaning on my better shoulder, I decide let Sasuke do what he wants. For now, I'll confront him on his actions later, and rub it in his face, when I at least know why my heart is beating so hard. Deciding that's the best option, I let sleep overcome me. I have a few ideas, luckily, on the blurry Naruto. If you have any, tell me. I'm desperate. I also know that the Naruto has healing powers due to the fox demon sealed inside of him. Just for this one little chapter I'm going to ignore that tiny fact, alright? I made my way to my house exhausted. and, gracefully, flopped on the bed, closing me eyes. Though I can't sleep with my thoughts going a mile a minute, there was no way he of all people knew who I liked. Because there's no one. I don't need such useless things as love. I have my mission, my goal, and that's it. Demo, what after that? What if I never defeat him? I mentally growled. Spending so much time with the idiot has altered my way of thinking. Naruto. He's like a puppy. So innocent and carefree of everything around him, despite his attempts of being noticed. Good thing I never liked dogs. He's like a weed that is always growing no matter how much you cut it. Everyone tries to bring him down. Then he attaches himself to you and you can't let him go. He grows on you, or maybe I've grown on him. I just can't stop thinking of him. He's gotten really strong. I haven't noticed lately, but he's improving. He might be stronger than me, and I can't let that happen. I need to be strong. I need to be the best. Despite his act as an idiot, him and me are two of a kind. Outcasts. Is that why I connect with him? Why is he hated so much? The adults try so hard to keep children away from him. Naruto is not dangerous. Annoying but not dangerous. Why is he hated so? I snorted. Since when did become so obsessed by the Dobie? Pathetic. Yet, why didn't I see him as an outcast later? I saw him all right, but like everyone did. A class clown pulling pranks and laughing it up. I saw him like just everyone else did, no one who wouldn't amount to anything. I never thought he would be so strong. He's something. I don't know what. Why does he act so immature? Why can't he grow up? Maybe he doesn't want to. I got to ask him why he loves ramen. And I have to talk to Lee. Iruka is the only one I know of the adults who seem to like Naruto. The adults hate him. They tell awful stories about him, mock him and shun him. What's the big deal? I got to stop wasting my time on him, even if he is interesting. I was about to sleep as I felt a chakra fading. I decided to ignore it, but it felt familiar. Where have I felt that chakra before? No way. It couldn't be. There's no possible way it could be. Naruto. Racing out of my house, despite my body's protests, I tried to figure out where the idiot is. I thought I felt him in the forest, but shouldn't he be home? I hate this. Why am I worrying about him? I do not worry. Demo, suddenly I'm mother hen over Naruto. I just have to make sure it's his energy. Damn Naruto. He did this. I'm not supposed to feel any emotions. None. Zero. Yet anything I'm near him I lose it. All these emotions come back. How does he do it? Is it intentional? The chakra started to flicker. I could feel adrenaline pumping and fear rising in my throat. He's got to be okay. There's no way I'm going to let him die. Hopping from tree to tree I approach two figures. One is something guy or girl in black. It even has black lipstick. Creepy. And the other figure. No, he can't be dead. He's not dead, he's just not moving. Whoever did this will pay for touching my Naruto. Wait, did I say he was mine? He's not. He's moving. Naruto was moving, but in pain. I glared. How dare it hurt Naruto? Performing the necessary seals. Moving my hands in rhythm. Horse. This is for Naruto. Tiger. I watched as Naruto desperately tried to get up time and time again. Why can't he just give it a rest? He's in no position to be moving about like that. Whoever did this will pay. Breath of the fireball TECHIQUE. My so-called opponent dodged most of the flame, however got hit. How did it know I was here? Whatever it is, it's no beginner. It took off, leaving me alone with Naruto. I better get over there fast before he hurts himself. The sight of him made my heart clench. He looked like he was in a lot of pain. How much training will he miss? Naruto lived to train. The thought of him not being able didn't help. This is Naruto we're talking about. He will train even if he's half dead. He looks half dead. Resting my hand on his shoulder gently, I look over his wounds. He needs to get to a hospital and fast. Demo, the hospital is too far away, I'll need help. Kuso. Will he stop moving? He's in no condition to be moving about. He can't even stand, yet he's trying to show off on how tough he is. I could feel a tug of a smile hit the corner of my mouth. That was Naruto. No matter what you say to him, you can't break that spirit of his. He's too stubborn for his own good. His arm looks bad, it's just hanging lifelessly and he's breathing heavy. At least he's not slipping on his own blood again. And yet, he's still putting on his stupid fox grin even if it's forced. I try again to ask if he's okay and again he doesn't respond. I'm starting to panic, stupid. Me worrying about Naruto, dead last from our class. Then he suddenly slumps forward and I'm way past panic, but I don't show it, not externally. That Teme. Checking to see if he had a pulse, he did. I sighed he was pasted out. Still, how am I going to get him out of here? Carefully slipping my arm under his and putting his arm around my neck, I slowly began to carry him. I carry him to Iruka-sensei, him of all people, would help Naruto, and he was close. Knocking on his door, he opens the door very pale. Talking in a panic tone, he helps me get Naruto to the hospital. Strange thing happened. Naruto gets fixed up, but a few of the doctors threw fits about Naruto staying here. Of course, he should stay. He can't even stand. Iruka called Kakashi, who came rather quickly, and Sakura was eating dinner. And her father didn't care at all about Naruto and wouldn't let her come. In the end, Naruto had to go to his house, but a few fistfights broke out. I started and ended a few. We all stayed with Naruto till Kakashi told me to go home, and Iruka stayed with Naruto till he had to get ready for class. Kakashi was helping Iruka with something. I couldn't leave him alone. It wasn't like I had anything better to do. I snuck back into Naruto's house after Iruka and Kakashi left. I knew I would be in trouble for missing training, but Naruto was much more important than training any day. Besides, he was my teammate. I stared at the blonde idiot wrapped in bandages and tidied up. For a while I explored his house, since I never been here. Then I made some breakfast, but all he had was ramen. He's really obsessed. Funny thing, I never thought of Naruto in an apron till today. Not did I think I would be in an apron. Trying to discover the difference between the kinds of ramen, I heard a loud thump. Turning around, Naruto was awake. He's unbelievable. Most people would try to stay in bed with his kind of injuries, but not him. I quirked an eyebrow, asking him what did he think he was doing. He gave me this shit about the floor kissing him. He's weird. What are you doing here? What does it look like? How am I supposed to know? I sighed. I'm making you breakfast. He looked at me with this cute confused look. Then he asked me if he knocked something loose. Once an idiot, always an idiot. I think he knocked something loose, not me. Nani? What are you talking about, Dobi? Then why are you here? Because I can. Says who? Kuso. He has me there. I was worried, I guess. I stuttered. I do not stutter. Besides, I worry about him as a friend. Nothing more. Say what? You heard what I said. Why? I really hate that question. I want to kill it. It should die. You took some bad hits there, got Iruka and Kakashi all upset. Then he tried to get up. He needs to stop being so reckless, and he starts to slip the second time. And he slips and I catch him. I just reacted. Carefully I tried to put him on the bed, and I can feel him staring at me, and I quickly let go of him. Mumbling an excuse, I turn to the kitchen and see Naruto sleeping. About time. The next day I faced Kakashi's wrath, which was 6 hours of extra training. Sakura gave me a hopeless look. When I was done, every muscle hurt, but I still went to Naruto's house. It's past midnight. I open the door entering Naruto's house, and I hear some noises, punching and cursing. Opening that door, I find Naruto beating up a dummy that oddly enough looks like me. And I'm shocked. He's shirtless and there are no wounds. No scars. Nothing. How can he heal that fast? Even his arm is healed. Your wounds, they're gone. Naruto blinks at me, then looks at his arm and shrugs. It's not possible. No one can heal that fast. No one human, at least. What are you doing here? I was just checking you up on you. It's late, I better go. As I turn to leave, Naruto yells for me and I say, what? Look, you look pretty beat. And well, thanks for stopping by. So, get to the point. No need to be so rude. I was going to ask you to stay the night, but now. I turn to leave again. I'm just too tired for this, and Naruto stops me again. You can stay. You can sleep on the couch. I nod, and he leads me into his house. I slept on the couch in my clothes, and it wasn't bad. He did invite me in. Nay, breakfast was another matter. Naruto was trying to tell me the different kinds of ramen as I dragged him out of bed. And he really loves ramen. I guess I could get used to it, but 24/7. Anyway, after he gets dressed, he's being annoying as usual. Hey Sasuke. Yeah. Wanna do something? No, please. He gives me the puppy eyes look. I can't help but melt. It's way too cute. Damn him and his damn puppy eyes. I give in. We're going to play tag. Tag. Yeah, you see the person whose it has to chase everyone else and make them it. Sounds pointless. That's because you're it. And he tagged me. He shoves me and runs off. He was going to pay for that as I tackled him, landing on top of him. It was that precise moment Kakashi walked in. Oh. Sasuke, I see you like it on asterisk top asterisk. What did he mean? Wait, oh, that's wrong. Naruto strikes back with a comment stating yesterday there was a lot of moaning going on in the living room and only Iruka-sensei and Kakashi-sensei were here. Must have happened when I left. Kakashi chuckled and said there was a mission tomorrow and got out the door as fast as he could. Demo before saying a comment on how I shouldn't be so rough asterisk on Naruto. Damn him. I got up and Naruto and I resumed this tag. He is such a sore loser. Sasuke tried not to smirk at the blush creeping on Kakashi and Iruka, the cause of Naruto's response. Much worse than the moaning comment, much worse. Apparently Kakashi left something at Naruto's house. What he left caused the couple to blush till their face was the color of cherries. Sakura was glancing around asking what was so funny as Naruto laughed at the sight of his previous and now present teacher's blush. He could tell from what that went unnoticed by Kakashi's mask, he was blushing hard. Naruto took a glance at Sasuke, who was smirking. Hi, this was payback for Kakashi's comments he made yesterday. Iruka stated he had business to attend and left Kakashi with the smirking, the laughing, and confused trio of Team 7. Fortunately there was a mission today, much to Naruto's relief. Unfortunately he was paired with Sasuke, whose previous actions still confused Naruto. However, it seemed the pretty boy wonder had turned back into his own stuck-up, self-centered self. No words were said of yesterday except the ones concerning Kakashi for different reasons. It seemed fate was cruel, as their so-called relationship, which changed somewhat yesterday, remained as rocky as it did a month before. In other words, Sakura fawning over Sasuke. Naruto ticking off Sasuke. Sasuke insulting Naruto. Naruto insulting Sasuke. Sakura yelling death threats at Naruto and Sasuke, and Naruto's battle of wits. Same old, same old. It would have been, if someone weren't planning something. And when this someone plans something, it could never be a good thing, especially for these two. Whether fate planned it or not, the arguing will stop, and A. They will kill each other. B. They will kill him. C. Nothing will change. D. Nothing will change and they will kill him. E. They will fall hopeless in love. F. They will fall hopeless in love and then kill him. Or G. They will fall hopeless in love, he will mock them, and then they will kill him. Was it worth it? Hi, at least it would get them out of his silver hair for a while. Demo, this agreement was only the beginning. The things he had planned, he chuckled, were far more sinister than any of the two boys have ever faced. Tilting his head, I wonder if Iruka will approve. Oh well, he thought. So much to do and so little time. Kakashi walked to the trio and began to explain the mission. The divided team was to locate a mystery object. They would be rewarded with something. Naruto asked what the reward was. The reward was in fact an extra copy of Come Come Paradise or ramen, and the trio all had their sights set on ramen for obvious reason, of course. Which was a good thing since Kakashi would never let anyone except Iruka see his precious magazine for obvious reasons. The scroll is in the forest of death. The riddle to finding it goes, I am in a place where the sun never shines. Where darkness rules and attaches to pillars. What the hell does that mean? Naruto asked, and Sasuke had the same question in mind. You two got to figure it out or no lunch for the rest of the week. Sakura and I have a different reason. Well, aren't you going to tell us what it is, and why do you always say no lunch? That's harsh. You two better hurry, you only have 4 days, and with that Kakashi took off with Sakura following. Naruto turned to face Sasuke. What do we do? Sasuke shrugged. Good start. Naruto headed toward his house stating he needed to pack. Sasuke decided to do the same. Replying they meet at his house to discuss the mission. Naruto rushed into his house and started to cram everything into his pack. Blanket. Check. Pillow. Check. Clothes. Check. PJs. Naruto frowned as he stared at the holes in his once good silk pajamas. Throwing them to the side, he decided not to bring them. Shoving everything in his pack, he headed toward Sasuke's house. Sasuke was already ready and they quietly headed toward the forest of death, till they reached there. Naruto sighed. Kakashi just had to pick the coldest day of the year to have a mission. And with Sasuke too. Just great. He kicked gravel having no idea where they were and wondering if they were lost. The sooner they find the scroll the better. If only it wasn't so cold. So any ideas where we are? Sasuke snorted. What kind of question was that? Kakashi is planning something. Sasuke knew it. He had that glint in his eye, a sneaky, bad, glint. Whatever Kakashi is planning, it can't be good. Demo he put Sasuke and Naruto together, then it can't be all bad. That was the problem. Sasuke plus Naruto equals not good. What is he planning? And of course he knew where they were. They were in the forest of death. The two walked quietly through the forest, neither remembering the riddle, just walking. Well, Naruto's teeth chattering and the occasional shivering here and there. Though Sasuke was one not to complain. Sasuke did not complain. He just regretted not wearing pants today. He just had to wear shorts. The only good thing about this trip was Naruto hadn't started complaining yet. Passing on into the forest, the duo ran into a frozen lake. Neither had ice skates, so Sasuke doing his best impression of an ice skater without ice skates and Naruto slipping all the way. Naruto looked up as he felt something wet hit his face. Was it rain? Nah. Couldn't be rain. Looking up he saw it snowing. Naruto stopped and stared at the falling snow. Sasuke. Look, it's snowing, and, aren't you going to look up? Sasuke snorted. What's the point at that? Naruto shrugged. Maybe Sasuke wasn't one to take time to enjoy things. He had this fascination with the weather. Sure, he enjoyed watching the sun rise and fall. Demo there was something about rain and snow that was so special. He could stare at it for hours. He didn't know why he liked watching the rain and snow. Perhaps because it was rare. Okay, not rare. Demo the sun shone every day. Rain and snow didn't come that often. Still staring at the snow, Sasuke punched him on the shoulder. Hey, what's the deal? Why did you hit me? What are you doing? Stop dodging the question. Fine, Sasuke said in an annoyed tone. Answer my question first and I'll answer yours. Staring at the snow. Why? Because I can, and now answer my question. The sooner you stop staring at the snow, the sooner we can leave. Why are you in such a hurry, Kuso? It's cold, okay. So the great Sasuke is complaining. That's a new one. Sasuke pushed Naruto and luck would have it. Naruto fell backwards into and through the ice of the so-called frozen lake. Now Sasuke was glancing at a soggy Naruto, who was glaring at him. Sasuke, why did you push me? Because I can, said Sasuke with a smirk. Did you have to push me into the lake? Sasuke turned and was about to walk till he heard Naruto get into a sneezing fit. Kuso. Sasuke hoped he didn't get Naruto sick, so he looked back at Naruto, who was still trying to get out of the water. However, he couldn't get a good grip on ice, and he was too short to jump on the fallen tree hanging across the lake. Sasuke, sighing, jumped onto the fallen tree, wrapping his legs around it and hanging upside held out his hand for Naruto to reach. The moment their hands touched, Naruto smirked. Which scared Sasuke, cause a smirking Naruto was never a good thing. And Sasuke was right, since Naruto pulled back, dragging Sasuke into the lake. Ah. Sasuke, so nice of you to join in. Sasuke growled and was about to strangle Naruto. But Naruto jumped up on Sasuke's shoulders, using them as a springboard, and got up onto the tree. Then Naruto took off his jacket, making a rope out of it. Taking necessary precautions, he held onto the tree with his legs wrapped around it in one arm. The other arm held out the rope for Sasuke to grasp. Sasuke tried to pull the rope back, but Naruto was prepared for this. Since Sasuke was light compared to Naruto's measures, he pulled Sasuke up and onto the tree. Sasuke glared at Naruto before walking to the other end of the tree. Naruto grinned and followed Sasuke. Why did you pull me into the lake? It was payback for pushing me into that lake. Sasuke growled and tried to burn a hole through Naruto's head with a glare. Demo, it didn't work. Now he was colder than before. However, Naruto was in the same boat and Sasuke was pleased to see Naruto shivering, even if he was shivering too. Well, Dobi, where do you think we should set up camp? Don't call me Dobi. Or what? Or else? Sasuke snorted, or else Dobi. Then Naruto thrusted a snowball into Sasuke's face. Or that, replied Naruto. Sasuke glared at Naruto and continued to walk on. Come on. Lighten up, Sasuke. I have better things to do than play with you, Dobi. You know what, I think you're scared. Oh, the great almighty Sasuke, afraid to have a little fun. For a better affect, Naruto laughed and continued to repeat, Sasuke's scared. In a sing-song tone. It worked. Naruto sighed softly, who knew he could have fun with Sasuke. Miracles do happen. However, miracles come and go, so he was stuck with his usual sleeping problems. Either he was plagued with awful nightmares about his past, present, and future if he had one. Mostly it was his past, as painful as it was. He did not dream good dreams, and if he did, he didn't remember them. Just painful, lonely dreams. So at this point, he decided A. Wear yourself out so you just sleep, or B. Stay awake. And choice B won as usual. Choice A never really worked since he had bad dreams either way. Insomnia be damned. Stupid insomnia. Naruto hated it with a passion. He sighed again. Stepping out of the cave he was in, he brushed away the casual snowflakes hitting his face and watched the stars till he was too tired to think anymore. It wasn't long, as he raised his hand to cover a yawn. Heading back toward the cave, he was once again reminded why he was here. The scroll of what you may call it. Shrugging, he laid near the dead fire, pulling a pillow and blanket out of his now dry pack and wrapped it around his shoulders. He shivered, wishing that he didn't have to fall in that lake twice courtesy of Sasuke. Shivering again, he got up and checked to see if his shirt and jacket were drying. Naruto, frustrated that his old pajamas were too rundown to be worn, sighed quietly. After this mission he would have to waste some money on new pajamas. His pants were still damp, but not as wet as his shirt and jacket. You take what you can get. Going back to his spot, he once again laid down by his pillow and tried to sleep. It was stupid on the coldest day of the year to be playing in the snow and wearing damp pants, but it was worth it. Sasuke blinked, trying to detect that sound. Sure enough, it was as always Naruto. The idiot didn't bring anything warmer, and in this weather. Annoyed, Sasuke turned over on his stomach and crawled near Naruto. Deciding whether or not he was going to regret this, he partly covered Naruto with his blanket and slept next Naruto. Naruto shivered less, but still shivered. Growling, Sasuke did something he knew he would regret if Naruto found out. He was tired, a light sleeper, and clearly annoyed. Sasuke tossed all rational thought out of his mind. Moving closer to Naruto till he could actually feel the skin of Naruto, evened out both of their blankets and rested his head on Naruto's pillow, since he forgotten his. If only he would stop shivering. Sasuke sat up. This was going to be harder than he thought. He uttered a low growl. Kakashi would pay dearly for this. Getting up, Sasuke left the cave and immediately regretted being so reckless, though he still went forward. Collecting a decent amount of firewood, Sasuke went back to the cave, sat down near the deceased fire and relit it. His glance returned to Naruto. He was only gone for 10 minutes at the most, and then Sasuke realized Naruto wasn't shivering, he was shaking. Going toward the blonde, Sasuke placed his hand gently on Naruto's shoulder and shook lightly. Naruto kept shaking, twisting, and turning. Sasuke tried to shake Naruto's shoulder a little harder. Kuso. How bad was this nightmare of his? Though Sasuke knew he shouldn't talk, he had some bad nightmares before. Sasuke used both his hands to shake Naruto awake, shaking as harder as he can, and Naruto stopped shaking. Naruto was still asleep, now only if he would stop twitching. Sasuke, face twisted in concern and annoyance, wrapping his arms around Naruto's waist. Naruto stopped twitching. Sasuke sighed softly. He was getting worried, and removing his hands he replaced the blankets on him and Naruto. Placing his head back on Naruto's pillow, with his back facing Naruto, he was on the verge of sleep till he felt some movement and something warm. Turning around, the something warm was in fact Naruto's arm. Repositioning himself so that he faced Naruto, Sasuke gently tried to move Naruto's hand. Instead, Naruto's hand tightened around his and Naruto snuggled closer. Sasuke growled lightly. He was just too tired for this. He had to admit, it was nice with the snuggling and all, as Sasuke fell asleep. When Naruto woke up, he knew something was odd. His pillow was warm. Glancing around, he saw that his pillow was Sasuke. They were, dare he say, snuggling, and it wasn't so bad. Shaking that thought from his head, Naruto carefully removed Sasuke's hands from his waist. As he did that, Sasuke latched himself onto Naruto. It was awkward. Well, awkward didn't even cut it. Sasuke gripped Naruto's arms and rested his head on Naruto's lap. Blinking, Naruto tried to find a good way out of this situation. On one hand, he could wake up Sasuke, but then he would have to explain why they were snuggling, and Sasuke didn't want to do that. On the other hand, he could let Sasuke sleep. It wouldn't be a bad. Sasuke was cold, so he was sleeping on Naruto, and Naruto didn't want to ruin Sasuke's sleep. But is that the only reason? These last days with Sasuke have been bearable. That thought caused Naruto's heart to beat faster. Turning his head, he stared out at the daylight flooding the cave. By the position of the sun, it had to be past 10, and Naruto came to a decision. Gently shaking Sasuke's shoulder, nothing happened, so Naruto screamed in Sasuke's ear. It worked. Sasuke woke up with a start. Naruto was going to get it, screaming in his ear. Then Sasuke noticed something different. The memory of last night came in full force. Speaking of Naruto, where was he? About time. Naruto's voice. Where was it? It sounded behind him. No, wait, under him. On top of him. Sasuke lifted his head to find Naruto looking at him, but how did N? Sasuke quickly let go of Naruto's arm and found out his head was on Naruto's stomach. He was resting in Naruto's lap. Shit. Sasuke immediately stood up and turned his head. Nothing happened. Nothing at all. He and Naruto just had a little snuggle session. Kuso. Sasuke could feel it. A faint blush crossed his face. Not looking at Naruto, he tried to will the blush away. Sasuke, you okay? Of course he was not okay. First Naruto snuggled with him and now he snuggled with Naruto. Demo, it wasn't. Well, he almost enjoyed it. It wasn't so awful sleeping in Naruto's. With that thought in mind, the almost gone blush came back with double the force. First, that stupid dream. Well, it wasn't so stupid, but that it was wrong, and now he was snuggling with Naruto. Wait. Why didn't Naruto just push him off? Well, he did, but why now? Maybe he didn't want to. Sasuke growled as he stared at his reflection in the melted snow. His ears were light pink. Naruto stared at the ground, feeling his heart clench, and walked to where Sasuke was examining his reflection. Placing his hand on Sasuke's shoulder, he tried to get the attention of the older boy. Come on, we have a scroll to find. You can stare at yourself later. Naruto joked, hoping to forget this little matter. Let's see, there were the incident, the mishap, the accident, and now the matter. Lady Luck has a twisted sense of humor. Looking with his infamous fox grin, Naruto could feel Sasuke's gaze on him. Open his eyes. He caught Sasuke's gaze and Sasuke replied, "Where to Dobi?" Sasuke stood up. Naruto wasn't mad and teasing him would forget the matter altogether, making his way to the blonde, smirking. Unfortunately, he slipped in the puddle, but didn't fall in. Naruto just reacted. He saw Sasuke slipping and caught him. So why wasn't Sasuke moving? He just slumped in Naruto's arms. He should push Naruto up. A comment like he didn't need Naruto's help. Demo. Sasuke just stayed stunned, till he dared to raise his head and stared at Naruto. Naruto watched as Sasuke stared at him. Sasuke might act like an emotionless jerk, but not in this case. Sasuke was embarrassed. Proof enough of the blush etched on his features. Sasuke glared mildly at the blonde. I don't know. Then Sasuke faltered. He couldn't finish the sentence. Swallowing his pride, he said a small thanks, but why didn't the blush leave his face? He was still in Naruto's arms, and staring at the smaller boy. A blush was also on his face. A voice in the back of his head told him to move, but he didn't want to. Sasuke felt lightheaded, and as long as Naruto didn't drop him, then he wouldn't move. Sasuke uttered a loud cough and rested his head on Naruto's neck. Naruto was confused. What caused Sasuke to act this way? Usually he isn't so emotional. First he's blushing and now he's in Naruto's arms. Naruto set Sasuke down and brought one hand to Sasuke's face, brushing the hair out of his face. Naruto also noticed Sasuke was asleep. He looks pretty when he's sleeping. Naruto shook his head as Sasuke began coughing again, placing his hand on Sasuke's forehead and realized Sasuke had a slight fever. So Sasuke was sick. That explained why Sasuke fell asleep on him. Don't worry, I'll take care of you. Naruto picked up the sleeping Sasuke and headed toward the cave. I blinked, rubbing my temples, feeling a headache coming on, and I looked around. I was back in the cave with blankets sloppily placed on me and my head is somewhat on Naruto's pillow. Still looking around, the fire had died out and it was quiet. Real quiet. The only sound was water casually dripping from the stalactites, or was it stalagmites? Well, it was one of them. It wasn't supposed to be this quiet. Looking around, I realized Naruto was missing. So that's why it's quiet. Demo, where is he? Trying to stand up, I stumbled and fell on my face. Not a good feeling. Wiping away the water from the puddle I fell into, a ghost of a smile tugged on my lips. Yes, yesterday was fun. I think it was yesterday, or was it the day before yesterday? I blinked and continued to blink, but my mind still felt hazy. Shadows, water, even daylight kept manipulating itself, changing into something else. 3 times I ran into a stalactites, or those things that are on the floor, thinking they were the way out. It was like a maze and my eyesight was rendered useless in the condition I'm in. Maybe I should lay down. No, that would be the coward's way out. And I am not a coward. One thing that is sure, once I find that idiot, I am so going to make him pay. I slipped once again in another puddle. I could feel it as the wind whipped by me and I couldn't feel the ground. I waited for the incoming impact of me hitting the ground, but it never came. I was in someone's arms, I could feel it, and these arms were strong to hold my weight and surprisingly gently at the same time. I tried to get out, but this person had me in a firm grip and I was weak in my condition. I was weak and afraid. No, wait, I was terrified. I couldn't see my enemy, it kept changing its shape, I couldn't move, and my strength was failing me. Desperate to remain calm, I kept reminding myself Naruto would be back and he would help me. Not save me, help me. Then my enemy placed me back on the ground, its hand still on my shoulder. You know, normal people who are running a fever actually rest, instead of crashing into everything like you've been doing. My mind registered that voice as Naruto's as I opened my eyes to find Naruto there, holding a bucket of water. He put the bucket down and easily lifted me up to the blankets where he ripped off a sleeve of his shirt and dunked it in water before handing it to me. I used it to wipe away the sweat from my face and tried to get back up, only to have Naruto's hand on my chest to stop me. Look, you helped me, I'm helping you, but I can't help you if you won't rest. Reluctantly taking his advice, since I was unreasonably tired, I laid back down. And it was the fever talking to me, and I hope it was the fever. I foolishly asked Naruto not to leave and he agreed. I have no need for petty insecurities and pathetic hopes, but this one time maybe it wouldn't be so pathetic. I woke up with a start, sweat clinging to my clothes, and I covered my hands to my face, trying to breathe normally. The same dream. Over and over I have that same dream. The one with Itachi killing my clan and I watching helplessly, being weak. There was one difference: Naruto was in this dream and he was saying if I thought I was weak then I am, and I can't remember the rest. I took a glance at Naruto, he was spacing out, but at least he didn't leave. As pitiful as it sounds, I couldn't bear it if he left. I've become very attached to this blonde idiot. Still watching him, a change occurred. Blonde hair grew longer before turning a black color, the symbol of sorrow. He opened his eyes, his now red eyes filled with hate and a smirk in place. A cold, cruel smirk, mocking me for being weak. I froze. Fear had frozen my senses, and I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. I vowed to kill him, but I can't. He's too strong, I'm not enough. He murdered our clan and I can't even face him without being scared. I am weak. I blinked and looked at him, expecting him to attack or something. He just sat there and the illusion faded away as fast as it came. Itachi wasn't here. Naruto was. He didn't leave. He never left. I was furious with myself, letting a mere fever beat me. It was disgraceful. I suddenly got up. We still had a mission to do. Naruto immediately noticed me trying to get up. I did get up, my body protesting all the way, and staggered to the cave where sunlight enveloped the cave. Almost there. Then a bright orange blur from the corner of my eye sped by me. I turned around and was tackled to the ground. Naruto was on top of me, glaring mildly at me, his face millimeters from mine. He has pretty eyes. I never noticed, but they're blue. Not just blue, but the color of the sky. I've never seen that kind of blue in someone's eyes. He has sky eyes. Naruto pinned me down, his weight crushing me. I watched him as both of his hands grasped my wrists on either side of me, and he's straddling my hips so I can't get up. Kuso, Naruto knows about the mission. So why is he doing this? Throwing my dignity aside, I squirm under him, and it's not a bad feeling, just real uncomfortable. Naruto adds more weight, holding me in place. I stare at him, noticing the blue fire burn in his eyes. I fight the incredible urge to wipe the hair from his eyes since I can't move my hands. Get off of me. No way. We have a mission to complete. And you're sick. So, must he be so annoying? I frown as I am still squirming under him, thinking up of a new plan. We're not going to fail this mission because I got sick. I'm not going to let you hurt yourself because you're too stupid to know when you're sick. Sighing, I stare at him and he stares back, and we stare and stare at each other till Naruto blinks and I've won. Naruto reluctantly lets me up and I stumble toward the entrance of the cave. I feel an arm grasp me and guide me to the cave's exit. If you're so dead set on this, then I'm still going to help you. We're hopping from tree to tree and I'm regretting this. Naruto is doing this no sweat and I feel like I'm going to collapse. My strength is leaving and Naruto is glancing at me with those eyes of his. I barely made it to the next tree. Chakra or not, are you sure you want to do this? Yes. Well then at least let me carry you. I don't need your help. I reply, then I trip over a branch. I can hear Naruto laughing. I frown even if he's right. Fine. Naruto turns his back on me and kneels. Hop on. What? Just wrap your arms and don't let go, I'll do the rest. Don't hold on, strangle me, I want to still be able to breathe. It's called a piggyback ride and I know you're not a pig. Just do it, okay? Still skeptical about this piggyback ride, I wrap my arms around his neck and Naruto grabbed my thighs with his hands and lifts up. Have you done this before? Never. Just great. Despite my earlier thoughts, this piggyback ride isn't so bad. Naruto was racing tree to tree with ease, using chakra to make sure we don't fall. We still have no idea where we're going. As the wind races through my hair and the endless trees pass me by, I decide whether Naruto knows or not. He makes a good pillow. Resting my head with him by, I know I'll have good dreams, and I fall asleep. Naruto sighed as he heard Sasuke breathing softly, and Naruto hoped Sasuke was asleep. Well, he felt Sasuke lay his head down and loosened his grip around Naruto's neck. Though Sasuke was asleep, maybe his hands weren't. They were playing with his hair at the time and Naruto decided to let it slide this time. Sasuke was sick, so he was doing things he wouldn't normally do. Continuing to ignore Sasuke's hands, he jumped tree to tree till he felt something slide down his shirt. He froze and unfortunately was still in a mid-air jump, mentally shaking off the feeling. He barely made it to the next tree. Naruto quickly put Sasuke down to find the intruder intruding his shirt, but Sasuke unconsciously wrapped his hand around Naruto's shirt and refused to let go. Naruto was able to replace Sasuke of his other hand. The one around his shirt was causing problems, was being difficult. So Naruto removed his shirt and gently unwrapped Sasuke's hand, noticing it was cold. However, Sasuke's hands weren't going to give up so easily. Instead, they wrapped around Naruto's arm for dear life. A sweat drop was forming at the top of Naruto's head as he saw the situation he was in. Naruto grabbed Sasuke's shoulder and shook him slightly, then a little harder, and to the point Naruto thought Sasuke must be dead. Sasuke only squeezed Naruto's arm tighter. A light sleeper Sasuke was not. Naruto resorted to poking Sasuke in the stomach and Sasuke flinched. Naruto raised an eyebrow and an impish grin crossed his features, continuing to poke Sasuke in the side till Sasuke woke up and nearly killed him in the process. After Sasuke stared at Naruto with his shirt removed and Naruto having to snap his fingers to regain Sasuke's attention. Sasuke said, "What is your problem?" And Naruto replied by nodding his head in the direction where Sasuke had Naruto's arm in a death grip. Sasuke quickly let go and redirected his gaze somewhere else. Naruto examined his arm, which was red from being held too tightly. 10 minutes later, then proceeded back to the hunt for the scroll with Naruto carrying Sasuke piggy ride style. Yet he was face to face with another challenge. The hands of Sasuke will not rest. Sasuke was sleeping again, resting his head at the base of Naruto's neck. His hands were holding onto his lightly. Then Naruto felt a hand go down his shirt, but ignored it. Sasuke shifted a bit and Naruto ignored it. Till Sasuke's hand reached Naruto's navel, Naruto froze once again in midair. Naruto started to fall toward the ground. In a last-ditch effort, he used chakra to keep himself from falling. Now he was hanging upside down from a tree branch. After getting right side up and jumping to the next tree, Naruto made a mental note. Next time you're alone with Sasuke, bring a lot of rope. Naruto decided to ignore Sasuke's creeping hand. That is until Sasuke shifted a little more and the hand was trying to slide down Naruto's pants. Naruto screamed Sasuke's name and Sasuke clamped Naruto's mouth. What is it now? Annoyance was clear in his voice. Do something about your hands. Huh, hands, shit. Sasuke quickly let go and dropped off the piggyback ride, stating he was walking now, and shoved his hands into his pockets. They jumped tree to tree till they stopped to eat. Naruto was in search of a lake somewhere to get water. He didn't find a lake, but he found a pond. A frozen pond. Shoving his fist through the ice as painful as it was, he got his water. Sasuke sighed, he just couldn't believe it. Staring at his hands, he wondered if they were possessed. They were heading towards Naruto's pants and he wasn't even awake. Sasuke sighed again, heading toward the pond where Naruto was. What are you doing, Dobi? Getting water, and don't call me that. What, Dobi? Yes, that. Anyway, we should be going soon. Why? We just ate and we don't even know where the stupid scroll is anyway. The sooner we find it the better. Sasuke spun on his heel and overheard Naruto saying, crap. Sasuke turned around again, facing the blonde. You know I'm right. At that moment the ice Naruto was standing sliding gave way and Naruto fell with a loud splash. Sasuke was caught at a crossroads. Of course he could just jump in and pull the idiot out. It's probably some joke to trick him, and besides he was sick. Sasuke snorted. Weak excuse. Sasuke waited for Naruto to give up on his stupid prank. He was starting to get worried. How long was Naruto planning to stay down there? Glancing at the ice, Sasuke noticed there were no openings. The ice that gave way had flipped over. Sasuke did some familiar signals and did his breath of the fireball technique before jumping in there. Swimming in the ice-cold water, he pulled out the blonde and noticed Naruto was freezing. Unzipping Naruto's jacket, Sasuke placed his hand in front of Naruto's mouth, noticing he could barely feel Naruto's breath. Shit. Sasuke checked for a pulse and found one, a very faint one. Then he couldn't feel Naruto breathing, the rising in his chest slowed. Sasuke came to only one solution. He had to give Naruto CPR. Tilting Naruto's head back and pinching his nose, Sasuke breathed in 2 breaths. It didn't work, so he started chest compressions. Placing the heel of his hand on Naruto's chest, trying to fit that blasted bone. Sasuke pushed up and down. 1, 2, 3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 7, 8, 0.9, 0.10, 0.11, 12, 13, 14.15. Nothing happened, so he leaned back towards Naruto's face, breathed deep, pinching Naruto's nose back. Sasuke covered Naruto's mouth and breathed into Naruto again. Nothing. Sasuke repeated the process again, no matter how hopeless it seemed. He pinched Naruto's nose, tilting his head, lowered himself, breathed deep and covered Naruto's mouth with his one, breathing into the other boy. It was the same process until Naruto's eyes fluttered and he tried to get up. Both of them were caught in a lip lock. Neither moved, they were frozen in a lip lock. Naruto broke it off to finish coughing up all that water he swallowed. It might take a while. It gave Sasuke time to organize his thoughts. He panicked when Naruto laid there, his skin was so cold. Sasuke mentally sighed, and then was angry with himself and his teammate. He wasn't supposed to be feeling these feelings. He vowed not to have these feelings till he accomplished his goals. He would destroy that man and rebuild his clan. Yet he couldn't not if he was feeling like this. It was forbidden, it was wrong, but damn. Why is it every time he was around that blonde idiot his heart would pound like crazy? Not that Naruto was a bad kisser, since he was not. Naruto mentally growled, where did that thought come from? He and Naruto had kissed not intentionally. It was an accident, though he enjoyed this kiss better than the last one. Back to the kiss junk, Sasuke sighed and Naruto glanced at him. Why did he have to taste so good? It was not right. He didn't bend that way. Of course he didn't, but why then was he fighting an incredible urge not to just pounce on the blonde and taste that ramen mixed with miso again? This had to stop. He couldn't let his emotions get the best of him. Besides, Naruto might not be that way. Sasuke internally frowned at that thought. It did get his emotions under control. Sasuke glanced at Naruto as he saw Naruto talking, but didn't hear him. His gaze kept returning to the younger boy's lips, and Sasuke fought down that urge again. It had to be because he was sick. This sickness was screwing up his emotions. How does a stupid fever cause you wanting to kiss someone? He was screwed and obsessed. It was hopeless. It was impossible to get Sasuke's attention. Where does his mind go when he's spacing out? How is it I always end up kissing this guy? And just like last time, it was an accident. Unlike last time, I didn't hate this kiss. It was interesting. Kuso. I am so not developing feelings for Sasuke of all people. He's my rival, my best friend, that's it. I am supposed to like Sakura even if she's the furthest thing from me right now. I felt him brushing away some of my bangs. I glanced up and now he's trying to get my attention. I really didn't notice how close we were, and Sasuke scoots closer, totally invading my personal space. I stare at him wondering what's he thinking. He blabbing about that blasted scroll. Huh. And he says I have a one-track mind. He starts to play with my hair and I'm wondering if he doing this on purpose to annoy me even if it's not annoying me. Teasing is more like it. Sasuke brushing away my bangs and he retracts his hands. A slight touch against my skin causes me to internally wince. Somehow I can't help but feel as if he's seeing this as another challenge. Sasuke, why were you playing with my hair? I like your eyes and your hair was in the way. Comma 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 comma. Kuso. I didn't say that. I can't believe I just blurt that out. Kuso. 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 Naruto puts his hand to my forehead asking if I feel okay. I say fine. Kuso. I use my reliable excuse of the scroll and I'm about to get up since we are so close that I can even breathe in his scent. Naruto places his hand on my shoulder. I don't turn to face him, so he grabs my chin and forces me to look at him. Sasuke, we need to talk about us. Us. There is no us. I'm talking about the scroll, idiot. We need to find it. We don't have the slightest idea where it is. You're better at this than I am. Figure out the stupid riddle so we can get out of here. Quote. He lets go of my chin and I'll try to figure out the stupid riddle. Try is the keyword since I can't force myself to think of that. My mind keeps drifting back to that kiss. Kuso. I feel as I should get up, but I can't. I can't bring myself to do it, and I glance at Naruto. He looks cute when he's thinking hard. Damn emotions. I just said cute. It's spreading. Oh no. I think I'm falling for this idiot. I glance at him again and he's drawing something out in the snow. It's my name. Does that mean? So he's drawing my name. It doesn't mean a thing. It only means that my emotions are going haywire and I'm obsessed. I see him staring at me. Am I so obvious? He cups my face trying to make me face him, and I notice his eyes. His eyes, they look so fierce right now, as if he going to make a big decision. They narrow slightly as he moves closer to me. Our noses are almost touching. What is he doing? His lips turn up into a pout and I am feeling very brave right about now. I have no idea where this courage came from. Instead of pulling away like I should, I place my hands on his shoulders and our stare contest continues. Our stare contest gets a little intense while I am dealing with forces beyond my control. There's this annoying voice in the back of my head that wouldn't shut up. It's saying I should just stop whining about the pros and cons about Sasuke. Its exact words were, "Shut up and kiss him." While the other voices in the back of my head are saying it's wrong, I know that. What if hates me afterwards? Our contest is still going, but I have this feeling there's more to it than a contest. I wonder why Sasuke put his hands on my shoulders. Logic S. I have never gone for logic. It's way too confusing. I hate logic, and now the logical voices in my head won't shut up. Screw logic. I decided to go with my gut feeling since it's never wrong most of the time, and I sincerely hope I don't regret this. In one fast motion I go up close and kiss Sasuke, and he's not doing anything. Kuso. I'm regretting it and I start to pull back till hands wrap around my neck pulling me closer. Sasuke is starting to kiss back. Sorry about that, I kinda figured Sasuke would never have the guts to start a relationship, so I had Naruto do it. Soft lips pressured against each other, as strong hands tightened. Their grip, sparks of electricity shooting through their veins, as a series of kisses transpired. Nothing could change this moment, this feeling, this sweet bliss. Ecstasy, euphoria, rapture. All in one. That is till a certain brunette moved his hands, from the slender waist to the broad biceps, before shoving the other hard in the mud. Without any compassion, the young heir turned swiftly, aloof. As always. Meanwhile, the mud-soaked boy looked shocked, aghast, and bewildered. He rose, shaking the clinging mud from his jacket, and glared at the emotionless boy. Using his short legs, he ran up to his rival, finger pointed accusingly. What the hell is wrong with you? The impassive teammate dismissed it and resumed walking. The Sunshine Fox scowled and grabbed the other's arm, forcing him to pay attention. I said, what is your problem? The taller boy turned, not impressed. Don't touch me, Dobie. And shook off the idiot's grip. However, the blonde wouldn't back down. Frowning, hello, we have to find the scroll, and I'm not going to fail cause you're being a jerk. Fine, he replied, and rubbed non-existent germs from his mouth. Also, you kiss sloppily dead last. The blonde fumed, muttering like you could do better, under his breath. The brunette arched an eyebrow, with an, oh really, expression. As the golden-haired boy continued to seethe in his mind, the sneaky air crept down on the preoccupied fox, and accidentally bumped noses. Oh www. Okay, I get it. I can't kiss, you didn't have to break my nose. I wasn't trying to do that, moron. Then what were you trying to do? Kiss you. Well then it looks like you worse than I do. An irritated look crossed the raven-haired ninja, scowling at the defeat. He grabbed the other's chin, and pulled them into another kiss. The forceful kiss softened slightly, as an interesting instinct awoke in the brunette's mind. Smirking inwardly, with this new idea in his head, he nipped the loudmouth's lower lip, amused at the sounds coming from the younger boy's throat. The dark-eyed preteen deepened the kiss. To say the least, he was surprised with the results. Regrettably he pulled back, a half-smirk forming, at the fox's reaction to the now thrice kiss. Meanwhile a mysterious figure watched them from afar, eyes narrowed. Sometime later, Naruto's POV. Note to self. Check and see if there are two Sasukes. That or maybe he has issues or something, because an hour ago, he I kiss better than you, and now he's like, I don't have time to babysit. Idiots. He hasn't even mentioned the kiss. I am not trying to remind him of it or anything. We all know I'm the better kisser. Wait, Uchiha cooties. Okay, so maybe it wasn't that bad. We are heading home right now, separate homes. Not each other's houses. Bah, like Sasuke would even invite me over. He's such a jerk. Anyway, we got the scroll. It was found inside this hollow tree, which I saw it first. It could be a sickness. Maybe people go all happy to bitter in 60 minutes. I call it the Sasuke disease. Neat, huh? Now, he's ranting. Yes, ranting on about the kiss, which I haven't said anything about. Funny how the only time he's talking is when he's insulting someone. Namely me. Uchiha needs therapy. Fast. Besides, he did kiss back. So he's saying stuff like he only kissed me to shut me up, and I still couldn't top his. More junk. Don't tell anybody, please. Like, who am I going to tell? Wait, I could tell Sakura. Hold on, she would beat me up. Crap. Hee. I'm not even listening to him, and he's getting all annoyed for a change. Yep, he's gone back to being bastard Sasuke, worship me. Even though I don't need anyone. We're in Konoha now, and we live on different sides of town, so he gives the I don't care wave. I give him the sign. Switch POV, Sasuke's POV. I returned the scroll. Whether it contained it wasn't jutsu, so I really didn't care, to Kakashi and headed home. It still hasn't left this feeling. I hate it. A ninja is not supposed to have any emotions. That's why Naruto cannot be a ninja. He's too much, too hyper, too loud, too stupid, too happy, too him, the antithesis of a ninja. I decided to train till it got darker, and then meditate. How is it? Only him can invoke these things, these feelings. I need to be emotionless, the more the better. I have to kill my brother, and I can't let a petty thing like feelings stand in my way. Throwing a few kunais from my holster, I smirk as they hit their target perfectly. This time, I throw some shurikens and frown as they miss the tree completely. Having problems, Sasuke? I know that voice. I turn around and attempt a kick to separate the proximity between us. Of course, he avoids it entirely. You know, sometimes having too much on your mind can affect your fighting abilities. It's best not to let your emotions bottle up. I ignore him. What does he know? He's killed before. Emotions are weak and useless. Does this have anything to do with Naruto? I stiffen before replying. Of course not. Why would I care about the Dobi? Kakashi dismissed it with a wave of his gloved hand. You should care. He's your teammate. Quote, teamwork again. Is that all he preaches? HN. Caring won't help finish missions. But they save you and help you get through them. Ha. Always with a comeback. I don't need them. I don't need anyone. Sasuke, I have seen people walk the same revenge path you're walking. They became so full of hate, they could never go back to life. They ended up killing themselves after they completed their goals. Is that what you want your end to be? Quote, that won't happen to me. Okay, what will you do after you kill that man? Crap, he has me there. I don't answer. It's not like he's surprised. You shouldn't be ashamed of what you're feeling. Quote, I am not feeling anything. He shrugged, turning on a heel, before stating, don't let your hate consume you. And he was gone. HN. Like I need his help. Tomorrow everything will be the same. Kakashi will still be a perverted late sensei. Naruto will still be a moron. Sakura will still be Sakura, and I will still being apathetic. Nothing will be changed. Hopefully these whatevers I'm feeling will be gone. Now time for some mediation for unwanted thoughts. The end. Now we will see you in the next video.